we are in one of the worst positions in this climate transition. We are a country that is very geographically diverse and very vulnerable to the effects of climate change. And at the same time, we are one of the countries that have not caused this crisis. So there's always this issue of the climate justice between those that were able to consume all the carbon space that we have and the countries that are now, and the peoples that are now dealing with the consequences. But we are also the 5th largest coal exporter, and we are one of the top 30 exporters of oil. And we have created this trap where actually, if the world goes to decarbonization, our economy will be ruined because our fiscal space depends on those incomes for those exports. So at the same time, we are dealing every day with the crisis, and I have to say that 2023 and 2024, I can see how there are tipping points in the climate situation. Now, for us, our main responsibility in this global issue is taking care of biodiversity and forest. This is our main responsibility. So we have worked with a social movement inside, and we're going to launch it at COP16, that is the biodiversity COP, where we are hosting, which is called Making Peace with Nature Coalition as the first step. And we are making opportunities for the people of Colombia around taking care of nature and building nature. But on the other hand, we are working on creating the platform and the capacity and the reality of the economics of how we phase out fossil fuels and what does that really mean in terms of economic crisis and in terms of the different situations of countries. We said at COPs that we're going to phase out fossil fuel. We said it for the first time in Dubai in 30 years. But actually, when you go and say, how do we do this? Then the answer is that we are not doing this. We are expanding fossil fuels 110% more than what we need to fulfill the Paris agreements. Why? Because getting out of fossil fuels is changing the whole economic relationships. Who's going to make the first move? And this is the question.
Well, first of all, that was one of the best explanations that I've heard about the real challenges dealing with the economic, social, political obstacles in actually doing a transition. And I'm really appreciative, Susana, of your willingness and your ability to explain that, because I was at COP28. They did adopt the phase out of fossil fuels. The money doesn't follow the commitment. Yes. It doesn't go to the global south. It doesn't support the economic systems of countries like yours that find themselves in this really difficult dilemma. So you really are an important representative, but also messenger for what needs to be done here.